Hi everybody. So I wanted to share a full restorative yoga practice with you, sort of a Monday night reset, we'll call it, since our Sunday night restorative got cut short. So I'm calling that a half reset, and we need the full reset for the week. Also, I just thought it would be helpful to post this as a video so that you can come back to it and maybe use it more than once in the week to sort of reset yourself and start again. Every day is a new day. Every day is a chance to start again. So that's what this practice will be all about, just letting go of the stuff and creating some space and setting yourself up to have a great week. So for props, you'll want a pillow and a blanket. If you have those nearby, grab those, and I will see you on the mat. Okay, so we're going to start lying down for our restorative practice tonight. If you have your props nearby, grab those. I do want to start with the props underneath your knees, and you're going to lie down on your back and just find a place where you can start to settle in, having the knees propped up on the pillow but then out to the side, so almost making like this diamond configuration with your legs, and letting the props support you. Maybe you have some aromatherapy going, maybe you have some music playing, maybe you lit yourself a candle, but hopefully you're set up in a place where you can really start to let yourself shut off the thinking mind, check out for a little while, let go of all the stuff that you are bringing with you. So especially if you're doing this as an evening practice, which is really when I like to do restorative yoga, is in the evening. I think it's really helpful, and it kind of sets you up for a really good night's sleep too. And your hands can be by your sides. You can have your hands along the thighs, maybe over the abdomen, so you can feel that tangible feeling of your breath as you start to lengthen your inhale. So really start to notice, where is your breath going? And where are you holding on to tension tonight? Is it in the shoulders, the neck? Is there an area of your body that's sore, that's bothering you? Can you start to just do a little body scan, starting at the top of your head, and just work your way all the way down to your feet. And just notice how you're showing up. Is for working through it. So for right now, we're really just focusing on breathing and trying to let go of the thinking mind for a little while. And maybe now is a good time to set an intention for yourself for the week, for how you want to feel. And maybe slow your inhale and your exhale to a count of 6 or 8. Maybe notice if your shoulders are still up by your ears, can you bring them down and really let them be heavy on the yoga mat? Let all of your muscles relax. Let the ground support you. This first part, this grounding, calming, settling into the breath work part, is really hard, especially when typically you're showing up like with all of your stuff from the day. Like you're coming to the mat and you're all like jazzed from like whatever's gone on, whatever stuff is bothering you. So this can be the most challenging part. This can be more challenging than the movement for a lot of people, but it's so important, especially in the restorative practice, to really start to let go of the thinking mind, tune into the breath. So all that, it will creep back in, and it's fine. You can notice it and then just send it away. Nothing's going to change in the next hour or so. So you just might leave the mat with a different perspective if you let go of it for just a little while and focus on right here, right now. This present moment. How do you feel? So 2 more really big deep inhales and exhales here. And then you can use your hands to just bring the knees together and then bring them into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Maybe rock back and forth on the tailbone, massage out your back. Maybe rotate your feet a little. So you can roll over to one side, left or right, just to work your way up to a seat. Keep the props nearby. We're going to start with some floor stretches here. So you're going to bring that right leg all the way out. Left foot comes in to the right inner thigh. And then you're going to shift the hips slightly. So just so that you feel like you're facing more toward that right leg. And then do a little check-in. Make sure you have your props nearby where you can reach them. And do a little check-in with your alignment. So shoulders come down and back, neck is long, spine is straight, right leg is extended, right foot is flexed, left foot is pushing up against that right inner thigh, left knee is heavy down toward the yoga mat. Now you can make use of the props here. We're taking a forward fold over that right leg. So you can set yourself up with the props to really be able to settle in again. That's what the restorative practice is all about, is allowing yourself to settle into these postures and really start to relax the muscles and restore yourself for whatever you have to deal with this week. So we're not whipping through things, we're really sinking into these poses and letting the pose do the work. So set your props up, or you may feel like tonight you want a deeper stretch. Maybe you don't want to use the props. Maybe you just want to come all the way down. So take what you need from it. Everyone will show up a little bit differently. Everybody needs a little bit of a different practice, so make it your own. But when you're ready, we're going to reach the arms all the way up and we're going to look up toward the ceiling. So big breath in here. And then exhale, arms come down, maybe over your prop. And we're settling in, using the breath as a tool. So sticking with those really big, deep inhales and exhales. Can you use the breath as you exhale? Can you give yourself just a little bit more space? Do you have a little bit more flexibility? Can you come down a little lower? These restorative practices can also be really great as complementary exercise to other exercises. So if you like to do more active exercises, maybe you like to run or you do bar or whatever it is, adding this restorative practice into your routine will give you so much more of a benefit when you're doing your active exercise. It's also great for the thinking mind, giving your thinking mind a break, resetting yourself. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, slowly come up. So really feel it out as you come up. Roll the shoulders down and back. Maybe give yourself a little roll with your neck and your chin here. One way and then the other. Oh, I even just got like a nice little crack in my neck. All right, switch sides. So same thing, opposite sides. You're extending. That left leg's coming all the way out now. Right foot is coming into the left inner thigh. And then, so take that little shift of the hips so that you're facing toward that left foot. And then check in with your alignment. So is my spine straight? Is my neck long? Are my shoulders down and back? And then set up your prop, whatever you're going to use, or maybe you're coming all the way down, whatever works for you today. So again, just doing that little check-in. Left leg is extended, left foot is flexed, right foot is in toward the left inner thigh, right knee is heavy toward the yoga mat. Try not to let it creep up. And then you're checking in with your alignment in your spine and reaching the arms all the way up. Take a really big deep breath in. Imagine almost as if you're greeting the sun here. And then exhale, fold over. And take your time to set yourself up here. So if you don't feel super comfortable when you first get into this, make those little adjustments, move around, and then get heavy. This is one of those poses that does its work if we let ourselves sink into it. So once you find your posture, come back to those really big, deep inhales and exhales. And if you find that your mind gets busy, come back to your intention. Go back to counting to 6 or 8 as you inhale. Maybe hold the breath at the top. And then as you exhale again, notice, can you get a little heavier? Two more breaths. And again, come up slow. Roll the shoulders back. Maybe take another little neck roll here. Chin down to your chest. And then go the other way. Awesome. We're going to take some side body stretches. So you can move your props out of the way for right now. And I would encourage you to put them toward the front end of your yoga mat where your head would be facing if you were in your downward facing dog, because that's when we're going to use them next. So for our side body stretches, we're coming back to the right side and you're extending that right leg all the way out. Right foot is flexed, left foot is coming into the right inner thigh, left knee is heavy. Now shift the hips toward the center. So rather than shifting the hips toward that right leg like we did before, we're shifting the hips toward the center. Right arm is going to drop down, so the forearm is parallel with that right thigh, and then the left arm is reaching all the way up toward the ceiling. Start here. Roll the shoulder blades down and back together. Arm is nice and straight up toward the ceiling. Spread the fingers, maybe rotate the wrist here. And you're not dumping weight into that right side, you're just using that as sort of a way to balance, keeping a little kickstand there. And then if it feels okay in your body, you can reach all the way over toward that opposite wall and maybe twist up toward your arm. Not losing the placement or alignment anywhere else here, keeping everything where it is, and really stretch and reach and breathe. And then inhale, come all the way back up, reach both arms all the way up, greet that sun again. And then float the fingertips back down toward the mat, and we're switching sides, so you're going to let that right foot now come into the left inner thigh. Left leg comes all the way out. And again, adjust yourself so you're facing toward the center. Spine is nice and long, neck is long. You can almost imagine that your head is being pulled up toward the ceiling by like a cord, like a marionette cord. So have that sort of imagery of just a nice, long, straight spine. Shoulder blades come down and back. And then to set yourself up on this side, you're kickstanding with your left forearm now, parallel to that left thigh. And the right arm is reaching all the way up toward the ceiling. And you're breathing here first. That right knee wants to come up. Keep it down. That's where you're getting that big, deep side body stretch. And again, yoga is about tuning in with all these different parts, right? It's a full body experience. We're not just focusing on the left, even though that's the leg that's extended. You know, it's not just about the right side body stretch. It's all of it. So if it feels good to you, if it felt good on the other side, maybe try it here. You can reach that arm all the way toward the opposite wall and take a little twist up toward your arm. Again, not letting the weight come down into your forearm that's down on the mat, but keeping everything is staying up by your core. Inhale, come all the way back up. We're going to take a forward fold over both legs now. So I lied to you. We need the props one more time. So grab your props. And you may want to try this without the props. Totally up to you, depending on how deeply you want to go here. So if you want to try to see where you get with a forward fold without using any props, that's fine. And maybe you need a little bit deeper of a stretch, so then totally go for it. Or because this is restorative, maybe you want to make yourself like a nice little pillow fort here and come down onto that. So you can really just listen to your body, and your body is going to tell you what it is that you need. So set yourself up first. Legs are extended in front of you. Both feet are flexed. And then do a little shimmy so that you feel like you really are sitting up on your sits bones as best you can. Roll the shoulders down and back. Neck is long, spine is straight. And again, we're reaching up toward the ceiling, looking up as if we're greeting the sun. Maybe rotate both wrists here. Flex your fingers, extend them. And then on your next exhale, fold forward. And again, if you don't get there right away, make your little adjustments. Find a place where you can settle in. And what are you still holding on to? Where did your mind go when your body was still? And I only ask because mine wandered here. So bring yourself back to your breath, back to your intention. If you find that those thoughts creep in, it's fine. Acknowledge them and move past them back to the physical body, the feeling that you feel right now, the sensation that you have. And sometimes it helps to focus on everything you experience with your senses right now. So not just how do you feel in this posture, but what do you smell? What do you hear? Focus on what makes you feel present and grounded in this room right now. And take another really big deep cycle of breath. Maybe the deepest breath you've taken all day. Feel where it goes. Feel your chest, your ribs expand. And then when you get to the top, maybe take in just a little bit more. And then exhale just as slow. We're slowing things down. Resetting. Allowing your body to restore. Inhale, come all the way back up. We're meeting on hands and knees, and now you can put your props by the head of the mat. So, hands and knees, tabletop position. Important to set yourself up. I started to talk about this last night, and I'm pretty sure it was before the video was cut off. But wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and really important to get your alignment right here because this is a foundational pose for so much else that we do in yoga. So have a nice spread in the fingers so that you have the ability to balance and support your body weight. And then on the inhale, drop the belly. Chin comes up, tailbone comes up. Nice, big, deep, long inhale. Exhale, round it out for your cow. On your own breath. Maybe close your eyes and feel where you're tight, where you need to pay a little bit more attention today. And now we're going to take it into some circles. So as you inhale, drop that right hip back toward your right foot. Circle around. Exhale, come all the way forward. Stick with that pattern. Really work with your breath here. Super good for your hips, but gentle. And reverse. So we're inhaling, coming back toward that left foot, exhaling out and around. And then come back to your tabletop position. Find some stillness. Check in with your alignment. So imagine like you're an actual table, like you could balance something on your back. Now we're going to bring the big toes together and take the knees out just a little bit wider here, almost like you're setting up for your child's pose, but we're not going there. We're going to take a little stretch here. So lift that right arm all the way up toward the ceiling. Really stretch, stretch, stretch toward the ceiling. And then exhale, thread the needle, and come all the way down. And you can extend that left arm all the way out, making yourself this little space for your head. Or you can take your arm behind you into a bind. Let your body tell you what you need. And try to settle in. Try to breathe here. Try not to hold it. So the tendency with postures like this is we get into them and then we sort of get rigid. We hold it. So see if you can that's the challenge here. Let your body get really heavy. Come back to your breath. Really big, deep inhale. Long exhale. And again, come back to that question of, what am I still holding on to? What else can I let go of right now? One more really big, deep inhale. Big, long exhale. If you did take the bind, release the bind. We're going to push into that left palm to come out here, and you're taking that right arm all the way back up. So just reversing that stretch, little counter stretch here. And maybe take a bind on your right side here. Play with that, see how that feels. Maybe you're nowhere near your thigh, maybe your hand is here, but it still can feel really good to just take that reverse motion. So, taking it to the other side, keeping your legs where they are. Now we're going to reach that left arm all the way up toward the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach as if you're going to grab something off the ceiling, and then thread that needle. And then take what you need. So, and it may not be the same thing on both sides. Maybe you felt good in the bind on one side and not the other. So figure out what works for you and find a place where you can settle in. Most importantly, tune into the breath. Really big, deep inhales and exhales. Try not to hold this. Let yourself get heavy. Let the floor support you. Let it be grounding for you. Two more really big cycles of breath here. Make it count. Really big, deep inhales and exhales here. Then when you're complete to come out, if you're in the bind, undo the bind and bring that right palm down to the floor. And you're going to push down into that right palm and lift that left arm all the way up. Here's my face. Toward the ceiling. Maybe take the bind on the opposite side if it feels good. And then come back to your regular old tabletop hands and knees position. Find your alignment, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, fingertips are spread wide. Tuck the toes, push all the way up, downward facing dog. And you can do a little check-in here with your down dog. So you can drop the knees, drop your belly onto the thighs, and then straighten the legs. See how you feel. Make any little adjustments you need to. And then maybe pedal it out. Bend one knee, extend the opposite leg. When you're ready, we're coming into a low lunge on the right. You're going to kick that right arm right leg all the way up behind you, not your arm. Bring that right foot forward and come down onto your left knee. Sweep the arms up. So this is your crescent low lunge. Find your foundation. Breathe here first. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a twist. So you're going to extend the arms out, twisting toward that left. Inhale, arms come back up to center. Float the fingertips down to the feet, to the foot, to frame the foot. Kick that right foot back. Take a plank here. And hold your plank for 5, 4, 3, 2. Push it up, downward facing dog. Pedal it out again. We're taking it to the other side. So when you're ready now, left leg comes all the way up behind you, and then you're kicking that left foot between the palms. Come down onto your right knee. Crescent low lunge. Found your foundation first, so find your balance. Make sure you feel steady. And then when you're ready, exhale, twist. And breathe. Lots of sensation here. Also a little bit of a balance challenge here. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Float the fingertips down to frame that left foot. Kick that left foot back. Taking a plank again and holding your plank. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Roll it up, downward facing dog. Breathe. When you're ready, we're coming into pigeon on the right. Again, if pigeon is not for you, option here to take a figure 4. Kick your right leg all the way up behind you. Bring that knee between the palms and settle in, coming down onto that left side. Stretching that left leg as far behind you as you can get it. And this is where you want to have your props handy. So you have the option to stay here. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chin, make this a little bit of a heart opener. Breathe. And if it feels good to you, you can come all the way down onto your pillows or whatever props you've set up for yourself here. The idea is to find a place where you can settle in. That is how pigeon does its magic. Let everything get heavy now. And this is where it's helpful to come back to your breath and use it as a tool as you exhale. Can you let that left leg come down a little further? Maybe you can even scooch it back a little further. Maybe the right foot can come up a little further toward the front of the mat. And that's what it's really all about, is these little bits of space with practice over time. You'll notice the change. And hip openers are so important in a restorative practice, especially to let go of a lot of that tension we carry there. I'm pretty sure this is where our video got stuck in last night's class. So hopefully you all at least completed the other side. Oh, the challenges of virtual yoga. So if you find that your mind starts to wander like mine just did, just bring yourself back. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Maybe come back to counting. As you breathe in, can you count to 6 or 8? One more big, deep inhale. Really long exhale. And then when you feel like you're complete, if you did come down, come all the way back up. And maybe play with how it feels here to add on. Kick that left leg up toward you. Reach around, see if you can grab onto it. Just play with it. Maybe that's not for you. But it can just give you a little bit of an added stretch here. So we'll let that leg go. To come out, we're going to push down into the palms. Kick that right leg all the way up toward the ceiling. Open the hip if you can, so kicking it toward the opposite wall without dumping all of your body weight onto that side. Bring that leg down and we'll switch sides. So take a minute, a breath I should say, to pedal it out here. Bend one knee, extend the opposite leg, and then kick that left leg all the way up. Bring that left knee between the palms, coming down, extending that right leg behind you as far as it will go. And take the time to really set yourself up here. So don't just force yourself to stay where you are. If it's not comfortable, find a place where you're able to settle in, where you feel like you're getting the benefit of the stretch, a little bit of the sensation of that stretch without it being painful. So take the time to make sure everything is in alignment. Roll the shoulders down and back, lift the chest, open that heart chakra. And maybe you stay here. Maybe this is what you need tonight. Or come all the way down. And again, if you find that your mind starts to wander, come back to your breath, come back to your intention, come back to the physical sensation that you feel right here in this posture. As you're exhaling, can you let that right leg come down a little further? Or maybe you can creep that left leg up toward the front of the yoga mat a little further. Two more breaths. Make them count. And then when you're complete, you can come all the way up. Push up onto the palms. Before you kick out of this, play with how it feels to lift that, kick that right leg up, and then reach around. See if you can grab on. Maybe not. Maybe just play with how it feels to start to explore that a little bit. And then you can let it go. You play with that. Push down into the palms. Kick that left leg all the way up toward the ceiling. Open the hip. Bring that leg down, and then we're going to take some mindful steps toward your hands, toward the top of the yoga mat. Just to come into a nice forward fold here. I think it's so important to work that into your restorative practice also. So really let yourself get heavy here. Take a little micro bend in the knees if you need to. You don't have to be totally straight here. The idea is to get super, super heavy so that you feel like you're getting that release in your lower back. And then your arms can be wherever it feels good. Maybe you take ragdoll, maybe sway side to side, shake your head yes and no. Again, just letting go, wringing out, getting rid of whatever the stuff is that's still there that you're still holding on to. Can you let yourself get any heavier? Can you let go of any more of the stuff that weighs you down? And then inhale, take a halfway lift. So keeping that back straight. Exhale, let it go again. Little heavier this time. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten out the back. Exhale, all the way down. And then inhale, we're going to sweep the arms, come all the way up this time. Taking a little namaste right in front of the heart center, Anjali Mudra. Big breath here. And then we're going to come all the way down into a squat just to work our way back down to the mat. So you're going to take the heels, feet are about hips width distance apart or a little further even, and you're going to bring the heels together and then keeping the spine as straight as you can, lowering all the way down. You can use your elbows to just stretch a little further if you're able to get a little more space. And then plant the palms, lower yourself all the way down, meeting on our backs. Knees pointed toward the ceiling. And this time, allowing your back and your body to be completely flat on the yoga mat. Let yourself feel totally supported. You're going to cross the right knee over the left as if you're sitting in a chair. So we're taking a little spinal twist here, but with a sort of eagle variation on the bottom. So extend the arms all the way out into a T, and then you're letting the legs go all the way toward the right. Gaze goes towards the left. And again, this is one of those postures that we tend to hold. So can you let yourself get heavy? Can you let the knees get a little heavier toward the floor? And then inhale, knees come up. You're going to keep the arms where they are. You're just going to switch legs. So crossing that left leg over the right this time. Knees drop toward the left, gaze to the right. Again, try not to hold this. Try to allow yourself to get really heavy here. One more really big deep inhale and exhale here. So really make it count. Feel where it goes as you're inhaling. Let the knees get really heavy as you exhale. Inhale, legs come back up to center. And then we're going to take a bridge here so you can bring the arms down by your sides. You're going to lift by the core. So really not pushing with anything, but lifting the core up. Try not to lose your neck. Try not to smush your chin down into your chest, but keep the neck long. Option here to keep the arms where they are or interlace them behind you. And take a little mudra here as well. Really focusing on keeping that core up. So you're not supporting your weight with your shoulders or your feet. It's really the core. It's all here. Breathe. One more really big deep inhale. Then as you exhale, if you did interlace the fingers underneath, just bring your arms back out and lower down. Bringing the knees in toward your shoulders. So kind of go out, I guess, toward your shoulders, then into your chest. Take a little massage of the tailbone here, the lower spine. Our last pose will be happy baby. So when you're ready, you can extend the feet or point the feet up toward the ceiling and bring the knees down toward your shoulders. And then hands can go wherever it feels comfortable, behind the calves, behind the thighs, grabbing the bottoms of the feet. Maybe you take a yoga toe lock, which is your two peace fingers around the big toe. Find a place, again, where you can really let this pose do its work. So you're not holding here, but really using the breath as a tool, settling in. As you exhale, can the knees get any heavier toward your shoulders or toward the yoga mat? Maybe you rock back and forth on that tailbone and that lower spine and give it a little more of a massage. If your hands are up by your feet, you can also take the time and the opportunity here to give yourself a little foot massage. Maybe rotate the ankles, flex the toes. Super yummy stretching. Hopefully it helped you to feel a little calmer, a little more renewed. And then you can let go, bring the knees together, give yourself another big squeeze here. And we'll rock and roll a couple times back up to an easy seat. So really using this last opportunity to just get a nice massage of the spine. Maybe 3 times. Let's go for 3. And then up to your easy seat. It was my intention to close out last night's practice exactly the way we just did. So hopefully if we had anyone who felt a little unfinished, hopefully this video will help you to feel that your practice is complete, and it is a great one to come back to. A lot of staples that I use most of the time in my restorative classes. So a really nice way to stretch out, reset. Again, as I said, a great complementary exercise to other forms of exercise. And the more that you incorporate this into your regular routine, the more you'll notice the changes. And it's subtle at first, but very noticeable as far as feeling more flexible, feeling stronger, and feeling like you're able to get more out of those other exercise classes that you might partake in. So when you're ready, we will meet again here in an Anjali Mudra. Thank you for your patience with all of our technical glitches as we figure out how to make our yoga world a virtual yoga world. I do hope to be with everyone again in a studio again, but for now, this is how we've got to make it work. Bowing my chin to my chest, the light in me honors the light in all of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.